Welcome, adventurers, to Probability of Demise, the podcast where critical fumbles meet critical facepalms. Join us as we delve into the darkest dungeons, slay the stupidest gremlins, and roll enough ones to make a beholder weep. Forget epic storylines and heroic deeds. Here we celebrate the chaotic beauty of bad rolls, questionable decisions, and characters with more charisma than sense. We'll be your dungeon masters of disappointment, guiding you through campaigns where the only guaranteed treasure is a mountain of laughter, and maybe some psychic scarring. So grab your Nat 1 dice, strap on your anxiety helmets, and prepare to witness the glorious train wreck that is our D&D journey. Because, in the end, even if your character dies face first into a pile of pudding, at least you'll have the dice god's permission to laugh your ass off. Welcome back to Probability of Demise, the place where you click like, subscribe, leave comments about how sexy we all are because we're as hot as a split party. Check out our shop and buy our shirts and stuff. If you were here in person in my apartment, you would actually have seen my unmentionables, not my unmentionables, but my tummy. My non-tucked tummy that does not have surgery. At any rate, that was too much information for anybody, much less myself. I'm actually embarrassed. And so now, good job, Jess. It's your turn.
Word of the day. Okay. Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the Word of the Day. Today, we are journeying into the wondrous world of language. Guided by the roll of the mighty D100, thanks to Jason. So, if you're new, welcome. Each episode, we unlock a new word to enrich our quest and delight our imaginations. So sharpen your wits and ready your ears to unveil today's magical term. And I have rolled. I forgot what I rolled, but I wrote it down. Today I rolled 87. And today's word is consinity. Consinity means something. What does it mean? Oh, skillfully blended or like harmonious, harmony, and used in a sentence could be something like the wizard's spellbook was a masterpiece of consinity, with each incantation and rune meticulously arranged to ensure perfect magical harmony. Word of the day. Yay.
Harmony.
Can you spell it?
Consinity. CONCINNITY. Consinity.
Got it. Okay.
Jess missed out on her opportunity to be a spelling bee champion.
Yeah, my dyslexic ass would. Never.
We all have our joys.
And our foibles.
So we're back here in Overton, actually just beneath the surface of Overton in the temple. The flickering torchlight casts wavering shadows across the crumbling stone walls as Ulua, Seraphina, Gus, and their recently released ooze companion Wobble regroup in the hidden worship chamber.
Wobble!
Seraphina tenderly nursed her acid-burned flesh on her arm where the giant blue ooze had, things happened. Lua's healing magic closed some of the worst of the wounds, I'm sure. And the ordeal served as a harsh reminder of the temple's dangers.
And to maybe, think before we touch things.
You're
not fast. I was attacked for no reason.
You watch as Wubble shudders slightly. The formerly inert slime contained within a container is now an essential part of your team and possibly invaluable against the larger oozekin, which you can still see many are up on the ceiling. So traversing this space will require care. Despite your injuries, you all have a defiant spark in your eyes. you know that you need to press on and uncover the secrets left behind by the treacherous Ascended who once ran this temple, exchanging whatever glances may be tinged with trepidation or possibly even better fortified by resolve. After a short rest in a slightly dangerous room, you steel yourselves to plunge deeper into this forgotten temple's gloomy depths.
On we
This
plunge.
place and your intention to unravel it all, and the squelching noise as you step into a pile of ooze poo.
Oh, God, sorry.
You stepped on Wobble and they're very offended right now. Welcome back. It's spooky season. Yes. You came down the stairs through the doorway into the space, and you're standing right here-ish. You can see up in the ceiling, you can see that there are slimes still attached, lying and lurking away. And off to the left, past a font, you can see a door closer to the altar. And then just to your right, you can see another doorway. 2 candles are lit at this entranceway, but the light at the altar itself has burnt out.
I think I still have my light spell cast on my staff too.
Yeah, given that you do have that, I'll give you a little bit more light in this space until you tell me you want it to go away. Bloop.
Yeah, I think we each had a torch, and
Ooh.
Gus had one on his staff.
There. Oops, showing too much. What would you like to do?
Well,
I'd like to sit in a pew and pray that I could just go home alive.
hang on. Let me see if I have any sort of I don't think I do, but what kind of spell where you can tell if shit's gonna happen?
Divination.
Yeah, those. I don't think I do, but yeah, I don't. It's not equipped.
Is there anything okay, so I know you said that there was an altar up front. Can I just go check out the altar? There's nothing on the altar other than the candle that's now burnt out, right?
Yes, but as you approach the altar, the candle relights.
Ooh.
And you can make out 3 skulls sitting haphazardly tossed here, and ancient, brittle. And there's a thick layer of dust on the altar itself.
And then looking to my left or right, wasn't there a door over here as well?
There is a door.
May I go look at this door? See if there is maybe any writing on the door, like exit this way.
I would like
go
to
this
assist her, and then I'm
way
looking.
for information.
I would like to assist her by walking with her and looking at the ceiling to make sure neither of us is walking under any oozes.
Ah, shit.
Yeah,
See,
I have
totally forgot
assumed
about
because
that.
we've made very clear where the oozes were, but apparently she forgot about that, so she's dead. But I was assuming you were being careful in your traversing of this space, and we'd already moved past that part of the puzzle. But now that I know that she totally forgot about that, I think next time she just dies automatically. How about that? That work for y'all? Seraphina and Gus, you come up to the door. I will leave it to you two to decide who's going to roll an investigation check, because what you do see here is a complex layer of symbols and images, and that is going to
Would these
require
symbols
some investigationing.
would
I lost my
these
spot.
symbols
I'm not going to do this anymore.
classify as a possible language?
Roll your investigation check.
Okay.
You want this for
so
free?
I guess I should have known better. I would like to
Jeez.
investigate.
Ooh, I like the sepia look. That's cool. Okay.
Investigation.
Do they die?
19.
19.
Oh, hold on. Jason's audio cut out.
Aw, poor Jason.
It's okay. We're patient. We can come back.
Oh,
We had a good
Apparently I was
pausing moment
muted.
there anyway.
I don't know when that happened. Well, I was trying to say that I rolled a nat 20 on the investigation check.
Okay.
I
So
have
there's a
it.
nat 20 and a 19, so high rolls both ways.
So it's a 25
Wow.
from me.
Yeah, I'll take that.
You
nat
pick up
20.
I think you both pick up that this is a language that was in the early days of Overton. It's actually the original language of Overton, the language that was spoken when the Timeless Trio was here. And it describes a figure, a crone, who predicts the future and divines things for individuals. As you read through it, you realize that this is, at least from what you're reading here, an homage to her, and that the pathway before you is intended as a test to her patronage. But reading through this information about the crone, you don't recall a god fitting what's being described here in this role. There's brief mention of other gods that you do know, but the crone is definitely not a modern god, or is possibly a god that has been forgotten or lost or destroyed.
Hey, Gus. You want to go look at the other door now?
Sure.
Maybe it says something.
Okay. I
Come
guess
on,
we'll go
carefully.
look at the other door.
Doing like James Bond rolls and dives to avoid.
Roll a
the
dexterity saving
oozes.
throw.
I will.
You could.
If you roll a nat one of them is going to attack you.
Dexterity saving throw. The 19.
You're a Dexy motherfucker.
I'm
Slipping
like
under
extra on
pews.
point.
Slipping under pews, climbing along the wall like a shadow of a shadow. You make your way over.
And
For a second,
As she's
you're
doing that, I just
afraid
walk
that you're
behind her.
going to be consumed by an ooze because you hear a... And it's just wobble.
I'm gonna holler out, being like, maybe I should change professions and be a ninja. Are there ninjas in this world? I don't know if they're
What is a
ninjas.
ninja?
You've just made them, so apparently there are.
I would like to offer my hands to Wubble and see if he wants to come hang out for a minute.
Wobble is your size right now.
Holy cannoli, I didn't know he grows. Just kidding. I'm gonna give him a nice little pat and be like, you are a good boy. Or girl. Or
I mean,
thing.
At one point,
You are
Bubble
good.
did encompass 3 of you, so...
I forgot about that.
Great thing about being a news is you can size yourself as needed.
And then I'd like to look at the door.
You see the exact same copy.
Dang, it's the same thing.
Should we... I suppose we have to open one of these doors.
Oh, what if you... Wait. I want to look for Ulua. Ulua! Where are you? Where's Ulua?
I'm still standing at the open door with my arms crossed.
Ulua, do you want to
Yes?
go to the other door? And we'll open them at the same time.
The one that you were just at?
Yeah. Or unless you don't want to walk that far, you can go to this one.
It's fine. I can go there. It's fine.
If you take the path I just took, you'll avoid the Uzis.
I think I can just hug the walls too.
Just be careful.
I will. I appreciate your concern.
I'm gonna lean over to Gus and be like, she's too pretty to get ooze on her.
Sure.
I'm just gonna kind of like gingerly kind of walk along the wall and.
Well, as we said in the last session, walking along the wall is probably the best way to get around these easily, and you easily make your way over. You are accompanied by the sounds of as Wobble follows you to that other door.
I'm trying to remember. I think I was at least charmed by Wobble at one point. Am I still charmed?
The interesting thing about Wobble's charm is that, unlike the spell charm, it doesn't wear off.
Okay.
Wobble has Riz.
Rick, we're too old to say
Way
Riz.
to stay hip. So
I've worked with little kids for too long to ever let go of new linguistic phenomena.
Wobble has drip. I'm gonna.
No, Wobble doesn't have drip.
Probably
Just Riz.
literally.
They kind of like it's that sloughing off thing that kind of distracts from the actual outfits the Wobble will occasionally wear.
All right. As I notice Wobble following behind me, I'm just gonna kind of like stick out a hand. Not really like to grab, but like in case he wants or Wobble wants to hold my hands. I don't know if they would, but like.
Yeah, I think
I don't know
Wobble
how
might be up
sentient
for hand
Wobble
holding.
is. Beyond
Wobble
like.
likes people.
Yeah, but like
Or if
beyond
he can
friend or
create
foe.
hand.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels as you expect. If you imagine what a pineapple hand would feel like, it's got a little tingle, leaves your hand a little tingly after a while. But as you are holding Wobble's hand and looking at this door as they're at the other door,
I'll put my so there's a just like a regular handle, like a knocker kind of handle, or what kind of handle?
it looks like it's push.
Ulua.
Yes,
Should we check for traps first?
that would probably be good. Did you not do that when you were over here?
No, I just looked at it.
Okay.
It talks about like gods and an old god, or maybe as a god. It talks about the
An old crone.
well, yeah, crone, which I don't recognize. But no, I didn't check for traps. I just looked at it.
Okay.
Asher. Asher. Gus, did you check for traps?
I did not.
Yeah,
Unless-
did not.
Unless a
Well-
25 on my investigation check counts as checking for traps.
I mean, it's not. It's less
No.
my expertise than yours, but I can certainly take a look and see if I notice anything.
Okay, so both whoever is at whichever door, roll your investigation for traps.
Okay.
22.
Oh, so close to an natural 20. Investigation, you said, correct. It's a 10.
You all feel fairly confident that the door in front of you is not trapped in any way. Ulua, you looking at the door like, I guess.
Send Wobble first.
That's awful. I mean, to be fair, I'm just going to open the door. I didn't say I would go through it.
You push open the door that you're
Good.
at.
Yeah,
And
I
you
was
can
going to do it at
see-
the same time.
Too late.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say I
And-
pushed open the door. I said I
And
was
you
going
see
to
a
push
small
it open.
anteroom with these glowing shapes.
I guess
What up? What do I
as
see
she
when
pushed
I
that
push
door
open
open, I
your
guess
eye?
we're going to push our door open at the same
You
time.
see
'cause
a
that was the
narrow
plan.
hallway, and you can't see much beyond the narrow hallway. You do see that there's an open entryway beyond that, but there's also a turn in the corridor to the right.
I holler
see-
to Ulua. I see nothing. Well, a
It's
turn, but
there's a small room, with
There's a big door
oh, you didn't say the door.
and some
before.
glittery stuff.
Okay. So glowing figures or glittery stuff or both?
They are floating, glowing things that could be somewhere between glitter and. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. Hang on a sec. Even
Allow me a moment to perceive this thing.
11. Maybe I'll get to 20 by the end of the night.
11.
Can you go ahead and roll a charisma saving throw?
Uh-huh.
You are very charismatic. Don't worry.
Whether I can save on it is the question. 15.
You hear voices, but you're able to withhold on the draw that is happening here. You hear voices call to you and say, "Help us. Help us. Restore. Help us. Please."
I'll think about it, and I just kind of slowly shut the door. So there's some sparkly things in there that tried to do something with me, and I managed to shake it off, but they asked for help to be restored. And then there's a big door. But that's about it in that room.
Do you want to go through that door or this one and see what's through here? I think we should all stay together.
I don't disagree with that. I think if either of you come in here, they may try to do whatever it is that they tried to do to me. So you could maybe, I don't know if that's something you want to take into account as to whether or not you go in there.
Well, let's check this way first, I guess.
Your door? My door.
Our door.
Okay. And I
Scooch foot away.
As you go through the other
Just
door
grab one.
and you come to
Bones.
and you come to the what looked like an open space, you realize that it's not truly open. It's a gated entryway with a lock on it.
oh,
But then looking to your right, you see the bones of humanoids of some sort. And the corridor turns to the right again.
Seraphina, do you think you can open that?
I could try. I'm gonna go try to pick a lock.
Lockpick.
as she I'm assuming I would have caught up to them when we would have been walking together. So
Oh, yeah,
as she
you're-
walks
you're-
by, I'm just gonna kind of I'm just gonna like put my hand on the small of her back, but not in a any particular way, just more of like an encouraging kind of like, you got this. And
Bardic inspiration.
yes.
What is your bardic inspiration worth right now?
That's a great question. I don't remember. It's been a hot minute.
And you leveled.
D8. A date. Worth the date.
23.
The door unlocks.
Yo.
I go, ta-da!
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
All of us are just Jeff.
Didn't check for traps.
Oh, shit.
Correct. All of us are just Jess.
Just Jess.
Dexterity saving throw.
Did you use my inspiration or not?
Not yet. Oh,
Hey.
wait. Okay, thank God. So, 8, 9, 10, 12. And what was your inspiration?
A D8.
D8.
Oh, D8. Oh, ho, ho.
Don't say that yet. You could roll a 1.
Shit, I lost count. 19.
19. You barely jump back and slightly into Ulua's arms as she was just behind you, kind of bumping up against her body. As the door was spring-loaded and launched itself backwards to you because it is a door that was meant to be and intended to be kept in the open position. It wasn't really so much of a trap as I just wanted to torture you. You see a much wider corridor beyond, and yet you still have the bones in a darker corridor in another direction. So up to you what you choose to do.
Any
As
preference?
she
Right
jumps
or
back, I
left?
just kind of make one of those like noises.
I immediately try to cover my horns and jump away in the fear that I stabbed her in the boobie.
Okay, breasticle interaction negated in all
Avoided.
ways. You jump forward, which means you jump into the corridor. Okay, good. Moving forward.
Oh no.
To the right, you can see there's a ornate door, and of course there is this grate in the floor, the parts of bone. It all looks really old, and then off to your left, you can see an open entryway into a slightly less dank-looking flooring.
Mm. I'm gonna poke my head out and be like, I see things. There's another big pretty door, and there's a grate on the ground, and then there's a room with fancy flooring.
All right. Well, considering the last room that we were in that had a grate contained a toxic gas, we should maybe keep an eye out for anything that might trigger something as such.
I immediately go "Ooh," so I don't move.
I just
I
wanted
would
to.
like to investigate this room for traps that could set the gas off.
Roll your investigation check.
22 again.
22. You don't see anything that sets it off. There is some traces of various elements here, and you smelling at the grate, it's not a enjoyable odor, but in the course of your investigations, you do make out that there is a clearer pathway of less dust from the doorway you've just come through to that finer flooring ahead. The dust to the right looks like it has been less disturbed, although there has been some disturbances here.
It appears that the dust is less disturbed this way, so the higher traffic area is that way. If that encourages anyone to go in a specific direction. I don't see any traps.
I'm gonna scoot along the wall still, towards the left doorway and just kind of peek my head around. See what I can see.
You can see some urns, a bone that does not belong to a humanoid creature, or if it did, it was a very large one, and yet another doorway.
So many doors.
So many bones.
Um,
I'm a little concerned that something down here is eating all of these people and animals. But
well, to be fair, in the last room, they were probably dissolving them versus eating them, but...
does my trap check, did that count for this doorway? Like, is this a trap-free doorway?
If you want it to be.
Okay, then sure.
Are you looking for other traps than just doorway traps? You investigated this room for traps.
Okay. Well, then I would like to investigate the next room for traps.
Roll your investigation check.
Oh, this one's not as good. That is 11.
11!
It appears to be very safe. Strange that they changed out the floor and it's a little old and cracked.
I think this one's okay, but I'm very old. Then I just walk in.
To your right, you can see this little urn sitting there, seemingly innocently.
I would like to look at the urn. Does it
Oh
open?
no. Don't touch it.
I'd like to note I have not gone in there yet. Just for the record.
I've only peeked my head around, but as he heads towards it, I go, remember what happened the last time you touched something? Just saying.
I'm just looking at it.
Technically, I touched it.
You touched the statue thing, but he touched something else.
In my defense, I also turned off the gas.
You were looking at the urn. In what way are you looking at this urn? Just visually?
I'd like to sniff it.
All right, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Shit. That's a 7.
It smells
It
old.
appears to be an old urn in a higher traffic area where the residents or the occupants or the occupiers of an older temple, you would think that they would pick up oddities and old things like this. But this one hasn't been disturbed. It's just sitting here.
I think I'm just going to leave it there and then go look at the other door.
You turn away and I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
The urn pinches my butt.
Y'all jump to death each time. It's not always death.
That's a natural 1.
Rip!
Bye.
Cool.
Been fun. Been real.
You're looking at the door. It appears to have very similar symbols on it. And Gus, wake up.
What? Hello?
Gus, wake up.
I'm awake.
You lazy old bastard.
Yes, that's
Get to work.
Me. Is this my wife?
You hear your wife?
Am I dead again?
Dad, you better not get hurt.
The last time I saw you, I was dead. Twice.
Well, these are always choices we make. But, and then as you have that kind of flash of memory, and as you come out of it, you realize that it is a memory. You remember this morning where she had kind of gotten you going when you had been late. You are again facing the door.
That was weird. I just had like a memory flashback to a time I was late for work. Very weird.
Stress dream. I get them a lot.
While you're awake?
No.
What did you... Was it the door? What did you do?
I don't know. I just started to walk toward the door and it just happened. Maybe somebody else should try this door because it whammied me.
I guess I will... Is it another push? Based on
these are
what I can...
these
They're all push?
This door seems to be a push situation or a tap and it pulls back.
Okay. I'm gonna from now on, whenever I go to open a door, just out of caution, I'm going to like take my arm silks and just kind of like wrap it around my hand so I'm not touching the door directly, so that there's like a barrier as if I was wearing gloves, even though I'm not wearing gloves. But just I would like to state that that's what I'm doing from now on.
Okay.
I guess I didn't touch the door. I just walked over to the door.
No, I know. I'm just...
You see a long corridor stretching ahead of you. There's a couple of places where torches have been lit recently. They look like they've been placed there more recently. They're not part of any of the structure. They look like their long poles have been jammed into the stonework of the area in this tunnel or in this corridor. And to the right, you can make out at least 2 entranceways to side rooms of some sort. And at the very far end, you can make out a small door offset.
We're still gonna get lost.
I'm going to just kind of go over my shoulder and just whisper. It's like, there seems to be a little bit more recent activity here. So maybe we should try moving forward quietly.
Okay. I'm very quiet.
I'll roll badly for stealth.
Roll your stealth as a group.
I don't want to roll that one.
10.
Does this count as rocky
Oh,
terrain?
no.
To the stone floor.
Huh?
So does this count as rocky terrain because it has a stone floor and wall?
Sure, why not? I feel like
6.
your deep gnomishness.
My other roll was better anyway. 16.
You rolled the best of everybody. Jess had a 6. Larissa had a 10.
6.
I am very
And
sneaky.
our ooze friend had a 2.
Oh, dear.
So, coming out into the corridor, squelching, stumbling, talking.
I am the knight.
There is a torch that can be lit. And to the right, you notice a lot of mist coming out of the open archway to a side room.
I will use prestidigitation to light the torch. I'm assuming I can, right?
You just did.
Okay.
See?
Not the TARDIS.
Do you wish to
I will go forward and peek around that corner into that.
go back to Gus
Gus
height?
height.
Very sneaky.
You make out all sorts of strange flora, odd locations where light is coming from, and you can hear the sound of steam releasing from some mechanism hidden beneath the floor. Do you wish to peek further?
Is it just steam like that's misting around the floor, or is it something else? Can I tell?
Roll a perception check.
11.
Or actually roll a nature check. Roll a nature check. Forget perception.
Should have just kept the 11 because I re-rolled for the nature check, and I got another nat one. You're in jail.
It looks like mist and steam, or steam that's slowly condensing down into mist.
Do I recognize the plants? Like, are these Underdark plants?
The ones that you can see closest, you can see a couple of species of myconid-esque shroom, things that you would have eaten, but they're also plants from the surface growing here. These aren't necessarily Underdark plants and surface plants. This almost looks like a long abandoned herbarium where somebody specifically took plants that wouldn't survive and brought them here, and using a mixture of magic and other things created a climate for them here.
Does anyone need some rare herbs and spices and plants?
Well,
I do want to peek further around and see if anybody's in this room.
so just to clarify from my own understanding, the Wyvern's venom is named Wyvern's venom, or it is Wyvern's venom?
It's named Wyvern's venom.
Okay. Do we know what Wyvern's venom is made out of? Could it be one of these plants?
I have. I roll a history check to see if I know that.
Go for it.
12. My dice have all betrayed me.
You know that there are components to it, but your investigations didn't dig deeply into the manufacture. But most of the places that produce Wyvern's venom, you don't recall there being natural elements, but much more alchemical.
I don't think so. I think it's more alchemical than this. Not so much grown as made.
All right, well, and I don't particularly need to look in this room if we don't think it's related to why we're here.
And Gus, to follow up on your previous question, you do make out some similar wispy creatures to those that you had seen above, floating at the distant end of the room.
Is this the same kind of glowy creature that asked for help? Or is that a
Mm-mm.
different glowy creature?
If Ulua is there, she might be able to verify whether or not they're the same or not. Ulua, are you also looking through?
I guess if when he would have gotten to the archway and nothing happened, yes, I would have followed up
Yeah,
behind.
these don't look anything the same. These are very different. They're slower, first of all, and they're not sparkly.
No, these are what were flying around upstairs and disappeared when we hit the. Was there a gong? No. What noise did we make?
There was like a thing that I put a candle inside of that turned off the gas.
Gus, you've been climbing for hours. Your eyes well adapted to this environment, but it would be nice to see something besides gray walls, darkness, damp under your hands. But there's a new smell. You've heard about this, but you haven't experienced it before. It's hard to describe. It's pungent. It hurts your nose, but not in an awful way, not in a way that makes you feel sick, and not in the way that the mushrooms you grew up eating did. It's bright, and you don't have the words for it. You snap back to yourself, and you're staring again at the glowing objects in the distance.
I'm must be getting tired. Keep fading. I'm just gonna step out of this room. Take a step back.
Should we take a longer rest?
No, I
Need
think
to
I'm
sleep?
okay. I just something is meshing with my mind a little bit.
As you step back out of the room, there's money being held out to you. A voice says, just take it. You know you can't. You shouldn't, and you won't. You stand on principles. And you also realize that you've just lost a friend because you can't trust them. And you step back into the room and see Ulua and Seraphina looking at you.
I should stay between you. I just had another weird memory flash. Something is in my head. This time it was my old partner trying to get me to take a bribe. Seems to be random.
I don't know if what I'm thinking of trying would hurt or harm you or possibly work.
Ulua casts fireball on me.
I'm gonna look at Gus and I'm just gonna say, okay, do you trust me?
Of course.
Okay. I don't know if this will work, and I don't know if there's anything that you're going to have to do to help it work, but just keep that in mind. And I'm going to just kind of get down to eye level with him, and I'm going to put my hands on his shoulders, and I'm going to cast Dispel Magic and see if it does anything.
Yeah, you cast Dispel Magic, and any active magic you have going on, Gus, is dispelled, which includes the light. So you're all plunged into a little bit darker, although you still have the torches and the torch lit behind you.
That's it.
As far as things that are apparent.
How do you feel?
The same.
Okay. Sorry about the light.
It's okay. I can light it again if we end up needing it.
Well, what you might want to do is, I think you do something with your fortitude.
I mage armored myself when we came in here last time. That's what you're talking about.
Yes, and that's me telling you.
Yeah, it lasts for 8 hours.
He's got
And I
plenty of
just
torches.
cast. Huh?
Oh, I got you. If you dispelled my mage armor, then okay.
I'm trying not to spell it out for you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I can go first.
I will recast my mage armor.
As you recast your mage armor on yourself, and Ulua takes the lead, Ulua, do you go into this garden space or do you continue down the corridor?
I'm going to continue down the corridor, gingerly looking for either recent footprints or anything along the wall that looks
Roll a survival
disturbed.
check.
Okay. Because these are going so well for me. Ooh, that's actually not bad. Survival 18.
18. Yeah, you make out that along the corridor there are there's a clear path from the door that you've left, bypassing the plant space and bypassing the second door that you see to your right, and heading straight for the wooden door. You also can make out there's another sconce for a torch to be lit.
As I approach it,
Smells like candle.
I light the torch.
Bernie.
Fireball.
I don't necessarily light the candle. I'm gonna gingerly walk up to the door. Not
This
the
one?
not that one, no, the far one. No keyhole. Okay.
Should we check out this other room?
If you would like. That doesn't seem to show any sign that people have gone in it recently.
Well, they told me when I had them persuaded at the party that there were still Wyvern's venom stored here. So if we could figure out which room it's stored in, that would be useful for telling the officers above.
Okay. I'm watching Rorik's face. I don't know why. Something about their expression.
I refuse to give anything away.
If you'd like to check that room, you can.
I will go and look at the door for traps and stuff.
You roll your investigation check.
Aha! I'm back. 24.
No
Back in the game.
obvious traps, although there is a creeping coolness coming from the door. And you don't hear anything, but you do smell something that is quite literally the opposite of that memory you had of coming up through the Underdark towards the surface for the first time and having that bright smell that you later associated with flowers.
I would like to put my ear up to the door.
Roll a perception check.
Bitch. 4.
You hear a creaking noise.
And the door itself is cold, or like my
The
ears
door
against
itself is cool. Cool and a little damp.
Something weird is in this room. The door is cold and clammy.
Did you want to open it?
Kind of, but that's just my curiosity at work. We don't have to.
I defer to you. I can have a spell ready to cast if you want to open the door.
Let's give it a shot.
All right,
Don't
I
live
am
there.
going to.
You only live once unless you're me, apparently.
You only live once unless you are Gus.
I'm going to hold.
If you're going to hold a spell, just be aware that you will have to check it off whether or not you release it or not.
Do you have like a cantrip that you can hold?
I mean, that's what I mean. I'm preparing, I guess. Sorry.
Yeah, don't say hold and then announce a spell because that means checking it off your list.
Okay.
Then you get the quick launch of it. So.
I would like to hold an Eldritch Blast because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can do that.
Eldritch Blast with this hand or with this hand.
How many Eldritch Blasts do you have now?
How
many do you have now? Your level
47.
Okay.
2 beams at 5th level. I have 2 right now.
Door opening. Yay, nay.
Yes. Yeah, I'll open it.
The room is dominated by a cage in the middle of it and some piping that runs along and seems to be broken in different places. You notice a very similar off in the distance urn to one that you passed by before. You can also see the remains of a humanoid, as well as a large couple of buckets dripping with condensation on the outside. The pipes, and I'm sorry, I couldn't create the right background for the big, huge pipe in the middle, but you get the waft of damp air from that. This entire space feels like a refrigerator of sorts.
This feels a little like a morgue, but with a cage.
An empty cage. Is the door open on the cage? Or is there like a way out of it? Or
You can see that it just appears to be a cage that is completely sealed.
and
Looks
that
like
pipe goes through, like that wall's not back there?
That door isn't supposed to be there. I chose the wrong cage. And that pipe just goes back deeper and darker beyond what you can see. Unfortunately, I can't emulate that well enough in this little tool, but there's water, liquid.
I'm gonna walk in and hold up, like relight my staff.
Okay.
Cast light again, and just kind of hold it into the pipe to see what's done there.
Yeah, casting the light lets you see. You can see deep within. It just seems to go deeper, and it kind of tilts downward. It's probably large enough for you and your friends to walk upright through this, at least what you can see so far. But it just seems to go on into the distance. You can hear the dripping of water, a little bit more louder than it would be if it was dripping, but not so loud as it would be if it was like a waterfall of water. But when you light your torch, you make out that there is a large lever off on the side of the wall, as well as a couple of torches that you can light with stuff if you want to, but that's just for fun at this point.
Rick just likes to click the torches.
I do.
What do you suppose this lever does?
I look around the room to see if there's anything besides maybe make water come out of that pipe. I don't know.
You, Ulua, need to roll a Arcana check.
I do. Why me? What did I do? 13 plus 15.
You've been lighting the torches as you come down here and the other things with your prestidigitation, and it's tempting to just like reach out with your prestidigitation and light these, but they feel different. Something is interesting about these two torches.
Can you explain by what they mean, or what you mean by they feel different?
When you reach out with your magical senses and before you actually use prestidigitation to light them, they just tingle differently.
Can I walk up and inspect them but not touch them?
Yeah. You look at them, they appear to be very normal torches, simpler than the other torches you've seen.
And I also do they smell like anything, like any chemicals or
Roll a perception check. Get your sniffer on.
Oh, yeah, because I'm pretty sure Ulua's is as good as mine is in real life. Yeah, pretty much. Perception 10.
A whiff of vanilla, like a scented candle. A whiff of sandalwood.
So I'm not entirely sure about what's off about these torches, but I can light them. I just want to give you all a heads up in case something is to happen.
would like to rage. Just kidding. I'm going to wave my hand and say, reveal, and cast Detect Magic.
You see there are magical runes that seem to be carrying water back and forth, and you can see where parts of the pipes have kind of like corroded and broken over time and they're no longer functioning. You can see places where there have been leaks. You get a bright emanation from the jar, the urn that looks like the first urn you saw. And it draws a lot of your attention because it is the brightest magical object in this space.
There's something
You
for sure is up
remember-
with these urns.
You remember, you walked down. They told you to come here because you needed to get something in order to become an investigator. You were not talented in the way you needed to be talented.
Is it visible when this is happening to Gus? Can I do I notice that this is
Roll an
happening
insight check.
in a way that I can snap him out of it?
And you remember
Dirty 20.
touching something, but then all you remember is walking back out. And then you're looking at the urn. With your dirty 20, you notice each time this happens, you see the vacant look. It's almost like a petite mouse seizure, where there's not a lot of physicality involved, but they're just checked out.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a tremor here or there, but
And when that starts happening, as long as I'm aware of it, if I notice that he's in the action of doing something and I see it happening, can I put my hand on his shoulder, at least as a fail safe to keep him from sleepwalking or doing taking any action?
yeah, you can be prepared to restrain each time you see this happen.
I mean, it's less that and more just in case he can sense that I'm there, or in case it's helpful in that way, and then secondary as a fail safe, I guess.
Okay.
What is the school of magic on the urns? Or on this urn?
The urn that you see here, you don't see the other one right now because you're not in the same space. It is holy magic. It is magic of the gods, which really casts it into a whole different realm because it doesn't fit the constraints of magic as you really know them and use them most often. The magic of and imparted by gods is weird because in the world it will manifest as the various schools of magic. It'll manifest as a divination magic or a necrotic magic or a transmogrification. I can't remember the word right now, but it will manifest as these various schools. Seeing in its pure form, like it is in this urn, is rare, something usually only found in temples.
Is it out of place in this temple? Or is it...
Could you roll a religion check?
$10.
You can't quite tell. It's such a mess with what the Ascended did to this space. The age. It's here. It's not been disturbed. You all are aware of it. Or at least of these objects.
Do I have any kind of inkling that the urns might be what's causing the memory issue?
Go ahead and just roll for yourself an internal insight check.
$14.
Awesome. You you're old. You've been around. You don't have a lot of illusions about yourself.
Seen some shit.
You don't have many hang-ups about who and what you are, and it's not normal for you to go off in these little wanders of memory. And then you remember that the door said something about trials and corridors are often used in the same breath as saying the corridors of your memory. And you've been traveling down these various corridors, and each time you've made a choice to go do something or leave something, enter or exit, you've had one of these flashes of memory.
I think I'm being tested. The door upstairs said something about a trial. I think when we take action, it sparks one of these memory surges. I think I'm somehow being tested, but I don't understand the test.
Why only you?
I don't know. Maybe you resisted it, and I didn't.
And you're not, and I turn to Seraphina, you're not having any of these flashbacks or anything?
Again, that
Seraphina-
urn pulses as the brightest light in your magical sight.
And these urns are like pure holy magic, which is rare.
Do you think they're what's causing the
That I couldn't say.
memories? I suppose I could try and look at one.
Go for it. Seraphina, well, if she does that, perhaps you could check out this lever. Mechanical genius.
Okay, so Seraphina, if you're checking out the lever, why don't you go ahead and roll a investigation check using your mechanical fun tools, see if you can figure out how it's connected and what it's doing. And Ulua, since you are going to go look at one of these urns, tell me about it.
The look on Larissa's face was like, oh god, I'm gonna die.
Possible. I kill a lot of people. I mean, it's very much like a gingerly kind of step by step. And each time I take a step and nothing happens, I take a step closer, and then like as I get close enough with it, I'm just gonna kind of kneel down in front of it, or not kneel, but like take a knee, and just kind of peer at it. Like, are they actually shaped like these with the cats, or
You can't tell if it's a cat or some other creature, but it definitely has some of those feline looks. Could be a bat.
but it has like eyes and such?
It's got eyes, it's got ears. It
Okay,
looks
I'm
like
gonna
what it
like
is.
look at it, like examine its eyes and see if there's like something that's like hypnotizing about it, or I'm getting bat ears, rabbit face. But yeah, that's the extent of what I do. I don't touch it.
Okay, roll a wisdom saving throw.
No, not you. You were not cooperative earlier. 12.
You are looking at it, and as you're looking at it, you just have this moment where you're in a tent, somewhere far away from... You've had this dream before. And you look and you see a tiny, infantile hand. And then the memory is gone. Gus, you also saw a hand not your own, a baby's hand in front of your face in a strange structure that was unfamiliar to you.
Am I out of it yet?
Yep, the
Yep,
memories are...
definitely the urns. And I just I go to walk out of the room.
As you go to walk out of the room, terror strikes you. They don't respect you or your profession. You don't know what to do. They are at the door and they are doing horrific things to those you love. And this horrific memory washes over you in a flash. Gus, you feel viscerally the terror as you're in a room that's not a room that you recognize. And then it's over.
Almost as like a knee-jerk reaction to that, I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic at the urn. On the urn.
You cast Dispel Magic and nothing happens.
Okay.
I think, Gus, because you still have your sight up, you see the holy magic just become a little bit stronger for a moment before fading back down.
That did not work.
I didn't even necessarily expect it to. It was just kind of a... Just wanted the memory to stop.
I saw her memory. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Both of them.
I'm sorry you had to... I saw that, and I'm sorry you had to go through that.
For the most part, things are better now, but there are still those of us who live with that threat. It's a constant presence in our lives, regardless of our notoriety or not, but someday I will make sure it never happens to any of us again. And then I keep walking out the door. And I say, I'm going to wait out here.
This is an over-the-top view of the same room that you're in right now. All right. So Ulua steps out the door. Seraphina, you've been investigating this. Did you do your rolls?
Yeah,
What'd you get?
just a 16.
16. You get the sense that this trigger will do something in the room. It is currently set to an on position. Pulling on it will turn it off, whatever it is currently doing. But you're kind of like tracing of the mechanical parts. You realize that they also lead to the two torches.
Yes. I'm not totally sure what it does. It's on right now, and it has something to do with the torches.
Should we turn it off? I'm just gonna turn it off.
You pull the lever and it's stuck.
It doesn't
It
want
won't
to turn off.
shift. It won't budge. You can feel that there's like a mechanical give. And Seraphina, can you just go ahead and roll another? I just roll your Arcana. You'd be the only one who could do this, but roll your Arcana check.
That one didn't count. I accidentally rolled in the
Nature check.
My Arcana.
She rolled a really good nature check. Do you want to learn some stuff about the room next door?
23.
23. As Gus is pulling on it, you can feel, because of your work that you do, tinkering and messing around with things, and that you've already investigated this a little bit. When he's pulling on it, it's not pulling, not because of a mechanical fault. That's perfectly fine. But one of the initiating triggers, the 2 torches, one of those, something needs to happen with one of them at least for the mechanism to release.
But I can't tell which one it is.
They both seem to have an equal component in this, and you don't know which one is going to do which thing.
We gotta do something to one of them. Can I go investigate the one on the other side?
Yeah.
Or no, that's the one that Ulua looked at, right?
Ulua looked at both.
Oh, she looked at both. Okay.
Maybe we just need to light one of them or both of them.
I'm gonna walk over to the other one on the far wall. I'd like to investigate that one to see if if it's been lit before, if it's been lit recently.
At an easy glance, you can tell that it has been lit before many, many times. There's the soot from being lit. As far as recently, no, not in a long time. This is old soot.
Gus, is the one near you look burnt at all?
Does it?
Yeah, at an easy glance, it looks like it's been burnt away, but a bit at a time. But it also looks like these are old marks.
Maybe not recently, but yes.
Can I?
I'm gonna take out a coin and say, all right. Heads.
I also could just identify it.
Oh.
But I don't know if I'll need to do that later. I can only do it so often. Or
I would
so many times.
save the spell.
Okay. Flip a coin then.
All right. Heads, my torch.
Heads.
Tails, your torch. Call it.
But tails, mine.
It's heads.
Well, then
I guess
you
you didn't really have to call it, did you?
Yeah.
I can't reach it.
Oh.
Also, you have a torch and I don't, so you can just boop it and I
I'm
can
gonna walk over
You walk over.
and light it.
Blue flame erupts from the torch, and Gus, your hand on the handle, it just suddenly, and the room gets cooler, and you can see the pipes are starting to hum a little bit, and then you can feel the air being withdrawn from the chamber.
Should we put it out and try the other one?
Yeah, I feel like we need air.
I'll turn it off again.
You still have
turn it
air,
on
it's
again.
still flowing through air.
Oh, I see. I thought it was like sucking the air out.
You can just feel that the air is being moved. So you
Can
put out the torch?
Yeah, I'd
you-
like to put that torch out and go reverse what we just did.
The other one glows
red.
a bright pink color, different color than the other one. Nothing changes yet.
I will hit the switch again.
You push up the switch
Yes,
this
did you
time.
move the lever?
And as you push the switch up, you can feel the air pushing back in again, but this time the air that's pushed in is warm.
I think we found the HVAC system for this room.
The what?
The HVAC system.
Oh.
And just as a hilarious note, you did just discover the HVAC system of the whole temple.
Hilarious.
What's more comfortable for us, the warm it's putting out or the cold?
Well, with the door
Warm.
closed, it wasn't affecting anything, but with the door open, and with some of the dampness of the spaces, it could dry things out. It could even dry out the area where those plants were growing.
Cold. Keep the plants alive.
I say we leave the warm. It's nice.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to walk over to Ulua, and I want to go. I really wanted to go look at those blue specks, but I didn't want to do it until I asked.
Do you not want to go alone?
No, I'll go alone. I just didn't want to do something dumb without asking first.
Well, I think we should all go if we're going to go. So I guess we can go look. I would be careful about any of the plants and touching any of them, though.
Okay.
Are you talking about the ones in the plant room or the ones that were upstairs in the other room?
Well, I think they're the
I think they're part of the
same-ish
same.
thing.
I mean, the talking ones or the regular ones?
No,
No.
Okay.
talkie.
No, those ones were glittery. This is different. This is the one that were upstairs in the ones that were upstairs in the gas that then dissipated when you lit the candle and put it in the thing, or like they like went downstairs.
All I know is we gotta find a big chest of gold. I got a house to pay for.
Okay. So you
I
leave this
wanna-
room and go back onto the
Yeah.
hallway?
Yeah. And I want to lead the charge, but I don't want to go in yet. I just want to like
We
stick my
left the heat on.
face.
I don't know if that matters, but
I don't want to stick my face into the room yet. I just want to like be able to look at the blue things and just go, hello, hello, and see if they respond to vocal calls.
You don't see a response. They just continue to drift aimlessly.
Ulua, can I go in?
Of course. You're your own person. Do you want me to
So
come
I
with
would
you?
like to. No. Stay out here
Okay.
because it might not be good. And I would like to sneak in case these plants are alive, so they do not detect me. And I'd like to try to go towards the little blue lights.
You mean more alive than plants already are?
Yeah, like sentientness.
And or carnivores.
Yeah, exactly.
Roll your
I don't want
stealth
to-
check.
Don't want one to grab me.
Those mushrooms look like they should be jumped on.
boing,
Boing,
boing.
the boing, the boing.
Blah, 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 blah.
11.
11!
You slip in, go behind a rock. It's too hot here where you're at, and you say, ouch! Making a little bit of noise as steam seems to come up from underneath the rock. You scooch over, avoiding the steam now that you've realized it's hot. You're able to get... You said going around the outside, right?
Yeah, just try to avoid the plants, but get as close to the blue things as possible.
They seem to be like right in the center, so you go back around, trying again. Maybe clambering over the rock a little bit.
This is
You've
where the
got a strange
backflips and the
stone with glitter on it. Jump
Yeah,
down.
one of those James Bond moves.
You're closer to them. There's this geode, giant geode right next to you. Can you roll a charisma saving throw, please?
Oh man. Charisma saving throw. I don't like this one. I'm getting rid of that.
Of course, of the three of us that have to roll a charisma saving throw, it's Seraphina, not the charisma one.
Yeah, you build what you build, you get what you get.
You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
8.
Ulua and Gus.
Mm-hmm.
You've both had another flash of memory. Ulua, you witness the internment of Gus's wife. It's a somber moment. And when you both snap out of it, Seraphina hasn't been visible. And you don't know how long that was because the memory just kind of takes and goes. But they haven't been very long. But you can't see Seraphina.
Seraphina, hello?
Do I
Hello?
hear Gus?
You can't hear anything right now. You failed your charisma saving throw.
But
Now
and
you're
we
in love
can't
with a geode.
see her.
You can't see her.
Can I still get closer to the blue things?
Roll another charisma saving throw.
Chase a little blue thing, catch it and put it in your
15.
pocket.
You
Try not to get charmed by a rock.
want to go to the blue. You can't leave this stone here. You did save yourself from taking damage. And
Ooh,
you can
that's
feel
good.
the pain of trying to leave held you back, but you were able to avoid that pain.
So I'm not near the stone anymore?
You are near the stone. You can't leave the stone.
Oh, I
It is
see what
the
you're
best
saying.
thing you've ever seen. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It reminds you of Ulua.
Is it that big? Can I try to pick it up?
Oh, you can try, and I need you to roll another charisma saving throw.
Oh dear Lord.
Because if it's like a loo, I'm going to take it with me.
Goodness.
18.
It's bigger than you are. And as
Aw,
you go to
damn.
try to lift it, you take a breath, and then it's gone.
The rock is gone?
Totally gone.
Can I hear now?
You listen.
Seraphina, hello?
You hear whispers out in the corridor. Sounds like Gus.
Gus,
I'm coming
good.
in.
I'm here. No, I'm good.
What happened?
Are the blue things still there?
You look for the blue drifting dots, and they're there. They're not as interesting anymore. But they're there.
Well, now that they're not as interesting, I want to just walk up to one of them. Just like present my hand.
You walk up into the area where they're at, Gus and Ulua, you see Seraphina walk out, and she is covered in a glittering mineral substance. Her exterior has transformed.
What do you mean has transformed?
Every inch of her exposed skin is like looking into a geode.
I'm gonna walk over to her and I'm gonna cast. See if I can remove the glitter.
The polishing effect of this causes them to shine even more greatly.
Seraphina, what did you do?
Didn't do anything yet.
All of your skin looks like it's made of shiny rocks.
I stood next to a shiny rock that was very pretty. I liked
Do
it
you
a
look
lot.
at your skin?
Yeah, I look at it.
You
Like my
can't
right
see
arm.
anything wrong. You look like
I look-
you.
Yeah, I look fine. I think I look fine.
Could I see anything with the dispel magic?
You mean
mean-
detect magic?
Or yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there's a ton of different magics, not holy magics, but a ton of them entwined into Seraphina. And it doesn't seem to be attached necessarily directly to Seraphina, but maybe more so something that's within her now.
Does it hurt?
Am I in pain at all?
No, you feel perfectly fine.
Nope, I feel fine. Are these blue lights doing anything?
Who are you asking?
Both y'all and the and Rurik.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Everyone gets to answer the question.
I mean, they don't seem to have changed since the last time I was in here.
As your gaze is directed towards those, and probably Gus's, just because your gazes are all going there, they seem to move a little bit more quickly. They're starting to kind of swirl.
Can I like?
Can I do? Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. No. Go ahead.
No, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was trying to think. You go.
I was gonna say, can I just kind of like reach out with my magical senses, similar to like how I felt the torches, to see like.
Like you're trying to light them on fire?
No, like
prestidigitation?
no, more like almost like a
Arcane history to see if I know what they are. Or like a religion check or something.
You can roll a religion check.
I'm gonna roll a religion check.
basically I want to like think at them to see if they react, if that makes sense, to kind of like see if there's
Do you
something.
have any telepathy?
No, just
Okay.
kind of, because the whole like memory thing, like it feels like there's something in my head, so I don't know, like, and the fact that if Gus and I just looked at them.
Okay. I get where you're going. Can you roll
Picking
a
up what I'm dropping.
Can you roll a religion check as well? Seraphina, what did you get for your religion check?
19.
You look at these, and these were related to the Ascended trying to take over the temple. They're fading quickly. But your attention has given them a little bit of life. And but even as they have this momentary resurgence, they're starting to fade away. You So 19 are drawn to some scientific, as an artificer, investigations into the nature of the holy creatures and the gods and other bits and pieces, and kind of like the decomposing them into hard facts. And these moats might be moats of worship. It's an interesting place to sit at with like these might literally be what leads to someone becoming a god. Ulua, what did you get for your religion check?
6.
I can tell you this.
I don't do religion.
These moats and the other moats don't live in the same house. And your memory thing, not connected to these moats.
Got it.
The only thing I want to look for in this room is there, I'm sure not because all these plants are like alive, but are there any gilded flowers? I just need the material for one of my spells. They're really expensive. So I just thought I would look around since we're in a plant room.
Roll a nature check.
Ooh. 18.
18. While the flowers on the ground and the mushrooms on the ground aren't of a high interest, the wall mushrooms here and on the other side, these are extremely valuable. You recognize them from your days as a child growing up in the Underdark, but these are extremely valuable. This is better than any treasure chest. And if you could take the time to harvest them, they'd be worth quite a lot to the right buyer.
Like, ooh, these mushrooms are very rare. We should take them. We could sell them.
Do you know how to harvest them correctly?
Sure. Sure. I just rolled an 18 on my nature check.
bravado.
DM, do I know how to harvest them?
And what'd you say you rolled?
An 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should do it like this, so that I just like.
We end our session as Gus teaches Seraphina and Ulua the art and artistry of shroom harvesting.
Join us next time as we all trip balls.
And that's where we're going to close out is shroom harvesting in a temple. And we'll pick up next time with our continued adventures in the temple. Maybe you'll actually step on something dangerous and go into battle. Who
Hey,
knows?
look, I just flipped a random switch and nothing happened. It's not my fault. I tried to kill us, Rory.
I know. You were giving me the fun. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful and beautiful day. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Check out our TikToks because they're hilarious, but also check out our YouTube Shorts because they're the same thing that's also hilarious. And if you like both, get bonus points. Yeah. And tell your friends and family and other folks beyond friends and family that you are in love with us.
Add us into the rotation of the people that you send 47 TikToks to every day. Like, we would like to be in that rotation.
Yes. Yes. Be awesome. So thank you very much. Hope you have a wonderful life. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Okay, bye.